Those from Ratnam's own caste were fearful of agreeing the powerful. Many worked on their fields as daily wage laborers. If the dominant caste decided to not to call them, then what would they earn? How would they survive? They also declared that the worth of the local deity would strike them if they refused to give in. Ratnams argued that given that not a single Dalit had ever entered the temple, how could the deity or be angry with them? The powerful caste decided to teach Ratnams a lesson. His community was ordered to ostracized him and his family, and everyone was told that no one should speak or do any work for them or with them. One night, some men entered their part of the village and set him hunt on fire. He managed to escape with his mother. Ratnam then went to fire in case in the local police situation under the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. Prevention of Atrocities Act in 1989, other Dalit families still did not come out and thus support as they were scared that a similar fate might await them if they spoke out. The case was picked up by the local media that led to many journalists visiting the village. Ratnam was written about a symbol of Dalit action. The ritual was called off, but his family was forced to move out as they continued to be ostracized by the powerful caste in the village. The Scheduled Caste and the Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. Ratnam sought the support of law, filing his complaint under the above act to protect against the domination and violence of the powerful caste in his village. This act was framed in 1989 in response to demand made by Dalits and other that the government must take seriously the ill treatment and humiliations Dalit and tribal groups face in a everyday sense. While such treatment had persisted for a long time, it had acquired a violent character in the later 1970 and 1980. During the period of in part of southern India, a number of assertive Dalit groups came into being and asserted their rights. They refused to perform, so their so-called caste deities and instead of being treated equally. Like Ratnam, they refused to follow practices rooted in the humiliations and exploitations of Dalit. This resulted in the more powerful caste unleashing violence against them. In order to indicate to the government the most untouchability was still being practiced and in the most hideous manner, Dalit groups demanded new laws that would list the various sort of violence against Dalit and prescribe strength punishment for those who indulge in them. Likewise, throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Adivasis people successfully organized themselves and demanded equal rights and for their land and regions is to be returned to them. They too had to face the anger of powerful social groups and were subject to a great deal of violence. This is why this act contains a very long list of crimes, the same of which are too horrible even to complete. The act does not only describe terrible crimes but also lets people know what dreadful deeds human beings are capable of. In this sense, laws such as these seek to both punish as well as influence the way we think and act. The The Act distinguishes several levels of crime. Firstly, it lists made of humiliations that the both physically horrific and morally responsible, reprehensible, and seeks to punish those who force a member of scheduled caste or scheduled tribe to drink or eat any edible or obnoxious substances, forcibly removes clothes from the persons of a member of a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe, or parades him or naked or with painted for face to body, or commits any similar act which is derogatory to human dignity. Sadly, it lists action that disposes Dalit and Adivasis of their merges resources, or which force them into performing slave labor. This the act set up to punish anyone who wrongly uh, wrongfully occupies the cultivation and cultivates any land owned by allotted to a member of scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, or gets the land allotted to him transferred. At another level, the act recognizes that crimes against Dalit and tribal women are of a specific kind, and therefore seek to penalize anyone who assault or use force any women belongs to a scheduled caste or scheduled tribes with intent to dishonor. Look at the manual. The source of manual scavengers at work. Members of Safai Karmchari, look at it. Adivasis demand and the 1989 Act. The Act 1989 is important for another reason. Adivasi activities refers to it to defend their right to occupy land that was traditionally, as you read in the previous chapter, Adivasis are often unwilling to move from one and land to another forcibly. Encroached upon tribal areas should be punished under the law. They have also pointed to the fact that this act merely confirms what has already land belonging to tribal uh, cannot sold or bought by non-tribal. In case of where this happened, to constitution guaranteed the right of tribal people response their land. Look at the picture. CK Janu and Adivasi activities has also pointed out one of violates and constitutional rights guaranteed to be tribal people and government in the various states of India. For it, they not allow tribal encroaches in the form of timber merchants, paper mills, etc., to exploit tribal land and forcibly evict tribal people from their traditional forecast in their process of declaring the process as reserved as a sanctuary. She has also noted that in case where tribals have already been evicted and cannot go to their hands, they must be compensated. This is the government must draw up plans and policies for them to live and work elsewhere. After all, government spend large sum of money on building industrial or other project on land taken from travel, so why should they not or so they become reluctant to spend every modest amounts of rehabilitating the displays. Conclusion: as we can see that the existence of a right or law or even policy on paper does not mean that it exists in reality. People have had constantly work on make efforts to translate these into principles that guide the actions of their fellow citizens or even their leaders. The desire the equality, dignity, and respect is not new. It has experienced existed in different form of throughout our history, as you have seen in this chapter. Similarly, even in democratic society, a similar process of struggle, writing, negotiations, and organization need to continue. Exercises. Look at the picture. Glossary: assertive, confront, dispossessed, ostracize, morally irrepressible, policy.